Back when you hear stories about Johnny Steam Engine and him like digging the tunnel faster than the steam engine can compete against him, the goal has always been to replace you with the machine. Johnny died to remind you AI was always going to replace you. Actually, when you play games like Satisfactory and Factorio, the ultimate goal of them is to automate the system, to make the factory assemble itself, to get your drone technology to a point that it is all self-sufficiently enabled without you. The goal of technology has always been to replace human labor, whether in a respectfully aimless video game or real life. Drones, AI, technology, machines have always been to replace you in Satisfactory, in Factorio, and in Johnny's Steam Engine. AI CEO says only 2 types of people will survive in job market. I agree with AI CEO that 2 types of jobs will exist in the far off future where inevitably humans will replace all labor, where any type of human subsistence farming, human construction, human endeavor in the way of Factorio will be done by drone. And that is quite literally always been the point, right, of Factorio, to do it with a drone. There will be 2 jobs in the far future. You will have the independent researcher. This is the future I am trying to create, where every person's job is actually to be an independent researcher who is paid by the government through grants for you to independently, aimlessly, wantonly research whatever little thing prickles your fancy at that moment. What sort of human developments led to the creation of the rocket? All of them. What sort of human creations will we have in the future when every single living person is paid to think about something different and to create it, regardless of its usefulness, regardless of what its temporality might be? Because every invention ever actually led to the creation of the rocket ship. And so that is the job I will give you. But in order to live in this world where everyone is a researcher, everyone needs to be university educated. And here is the problem with that. I am not university educated. So in a system where everyone is mandated to be university educated in order to receive a grant from the government to carry out independent, complicated research, what do I do? What is job number 2? What will you do? What do the rest of us do? Job number 2 is the prostitute. Because when all other human labor is fulfilled, what other part of yourself will you sell when they don't need your muscles? When you're not strong enough to compete with a robot? When your brain isn't strong enough to compete with another person? What part of yourself will you sell? You will sell your sex. You will become a prostitute because you will quite literally have nothing of yourself to offer. They will want nothing from you. They will have the machines to do labor. They will have the machine to plant the farm, to build the house. to do road construction. They will have someone else be smarter than you to think for them. But you can give them pleasure. You can sell them your sex when you have nothing left to give. And so in the far off future, there are two jobs. You will either be the prostitute or the researcher. I endeavor to build a future where everyone is the researcher and no one is the prostitute. They endeavor to build a future where everyone is the prostitute. What is Exotica? Right. I haven't heard any other conventions in Chicago on the radio, but I have heard of Exotica. I have heard of SexCon, right? We are seeing the best our public officials, the best Mayor Brendan Johnson has to offer you is SexCon, is Exotica, is the best he could bring you. A city is made up of the wealth, the attention, the notice it can draw externally. And the best our mayor has to offer, the best he can advertise, the best he can sell you is Exotica. You have two choices in the upcoming election. It is not about what candidate you want. It is about what sort of convention you would like to see next year in 2027. Would you like to see Exotica, hosted by the current powers that be, Mayor Brendan Johnson, the best the Chicago Democratic Party can put together, or the Samaritan Party? Mayor Cameron Harris, 2027, who is trying to revive the Chicago Columbian Exchange. You have Exotica. You have the Chicago Columbian Exchange. Go cast your vote. There are many conventions that come to Chicago. There are many conventions that go around America. I have gone to the NARBC before, the North American Reptile Breeding Convention. The North American Reptile Breeding Convention, just to walk around. I don't own any reptiles. I like reptiles. But I went, and I've never seen an advertisement for it. And so I would assume more people would want to go. If you'll excuse me. I like orchids. These are my oncidiums. This is Oncidium Heaven Sent Rhodolescens. I'm actually quite enjoying this one because it's got, like, as you can see, 2 new growths. I'm very excited. This is Oncidium Scary. This also has a new growth. I would go to an orchid show if we had one in Illinois. And you know what the worst part about wanting to have an orchid show in Illinois is? The most embarrassing part of wanting to have an orchid show here in Illinois. I'll show you the most embarrassing part, because I'm not even the only person who wants this. This is Hauserman orchids. I've not been to Hauserman's orchids or to Nat's orchids, but they have had 33 annual Chicagoland Orchid Fests, and we have never once, as far as I'm aware, hosted these in a large, monetizable, advertisable, recognizable capacity. People are clamoring for this. People are doing this themselves. They want it so badly. And yet, the best our public officials can do is offer you Exotica while we host our own orchid shows. I like fragrance culture, fragrance aesthetic. I like fashion. I like fragrance. I like perfume. I like cologne. I like fragrance. I had no idea that they had perfume shows, fragrance shows, in the same way they have the NARBC and the McCormick Auto Show, and they have the Hauserman Chicagoland Orchid Fest 33 annual times. I had no idea they had a fragrance show. And I want to go. And the best we can do is offer you, bring us Exotica. Bring you SexCon while we clamber for other things. They sell you SexCon. The future is simple. The researcher and the SexCon. The prostitute. Make your choice. I think it's an easy vote.